Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. It is Thursday, December 8th. We are here back in the man caves today after a big day of eating a remote show yesterday. Hen and the Hog, Jeff Defo DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz. How are we doing today? Did we digest all the delectables from yesterday? That shrimp and grits, I'm still on my mind. Did anybody box that up and take it?
Oh, you know who did that. It looked like he brought a treasure chest home. It was unbelievable. You would have thought he would have needed some like pirate type key to open this thing, but took home a giant box of what seemed to be mostly the shrimp and grits, which the portion was so big that all three of us had plenty of it, and there was still a lot left. That was delicious. I thought everything was good. Now maybe this is a test, Mike Mayo, the gambling gourmet, and Mr. Foodie, and I would say that this is a legitimate test that anybody, you don't have to be a connoisseur of food to go ahead and use as a litmus whether a place is good or not. I still had an extremely pleasant taste of the smoked meat, and it stayed with me all the way home, which I think is a real testament to the fact that this stuff was damn good yesterday at the Hen and the Hog.
It's nice when, that, like you said, that smoke flavor that you taste, it lingers in your mouth. And it's not like a hot dog that's repeating or a banana.
No, this was delicious. I mean, I didn't want to use any mouthwash or brush my teeth.
No, this is the flavor of the smoker, which, again, he was describing, Chef Darrell was talking about 16 and a half hours of the brisket on the smoker. And you can't fake that. That's some people use these quick parboiling methods, and then they throw it into a electric smoker for 2 hours or pour on some liquid smoke. But this is the real deal. And it kind of lingers in your mouth like
great.
The smoke from a Marlene Dietrich cigarette.
Listen to you. I compared it to the time my friend Ira, the Met fan, who's a diehard Met fan, I took him down on the field, and he got to meet Al Leiter, who I knew personally because, of course,
Al Cigarette Lighter.
Al Cigarette Lighter.
He's a great guy. He was a good.
He didn't know, he didn't believe that I knew Al Leiter. So we're looking in, I'm pointing a couple of guys out that are on the field there that he was very fond of as Mets, and Leiter comes over and starts messing with me because we had done some shows together, and he's like, Defo, yeah. So he ends up shaking Ira's hand, and Ira did not wash his hand, literally, for almost a year after. And it was the same thing. I mean, it was the same lingering effect. I didn't want to do anything to change the way the flavors that I had in my on my taste buds there because it was that good. And I thought you were wrong, honestly, in your criticism of that one sandwich, as did Lubie.
Well, he just didn't hear what it was called. And I think if he had heard what it was called, he would understand why it was. First of all, the way I know places when you guys have made fun of me is I'm the condiment king and I'm the salt and pepper king. When you don't have to use, when even I don't use any condiments or any salt and pepper.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like you didn't touch the food came out and you just ate it, and it was spectacular.
Wait, what did you perceive as my criticism?
So they called the sandwich the grilled brisket sandwich, meaning it was a brisket sandwich take on a grilled cheese. When you get a grilled ham and cheese or a grilled cheese with any kind of meat, it's about the bread and the cheese, not the meat.
Doesn't look like Katz's Deli, exactly.
Like meat is just a throw-in. Like
I see. Because my note that I gave him, and it wasn't on the air, was that it was a little bit,
I think you felt you had to say something because you are Mike Mayo.
No, because all right. First of all, it was an excellent, well-composed sandwich.
It tasted great. It was fantastic.
It is also $17. Now I have to know this market.
I can understand
price. I am not impervious to price, even though at these remotes they wine and dine us and they don't present us a check at the end of these shows where we're.
I threw the grill at 20 just out of. I know they told us not to, but I couldn't help myself.
Well, that's very classy on your part. I usually do that, but yesterday
I noticed you were going to come up short there. You look like
and I never
the gator
you had a birth defect or something.
A little tight in the middle.
Well, when you said, "Hey, that's great," they're comping everything. I thought, I better take care of this poor girl.
You always have to take
plates. Yeah.
Yes, you always take care. I knew that you did that, which is why.
Okay, good. I'm glad you saw it.
Just the way that.
Yeah. No, we don't want to be known as cheapskates and
no, you gotta always tip the servers well.
Yeah.
But no, I just was thinking along the lines of not myself, because for me it was a perfectly composed and very nicely sized sandwich. But I know that some members of the group, and particularly customers and guests in Boca Raton, might who are used to those mile high deli sandwiches like we get at Grandpa's, might be a little bit kvetching about, it's such a thin sandwich and all that stuff. And
at 17, I could see where you
I didn't realize the price.
These are the things.
had a
Go
good
ahead.
amount of meat on it. Like the one sandwich had a lot of meat. So I'm like, okay,
Well,
this
that pulled pork sandwich was a hefty pulled pork
That was
sandwich. It
good,
had
that's
at
yeah.
least,
what I'm
I
saying.
think, 7 ounces of pulled pork on there, which is what people
Yes.
expect when they're getting, a $15 to $20 sandwich these days. It's usually between 6 and 8 ounces of meat. And but these are the things, the discussions that I have behind the scenes with restaurateurs about, pricing and what what the feedback they're getting from customers, and I give them my professional feedback, which was delicious, well composed sandwich, but people are going to bitch about the portion size, and because it was 4 ounces of meat, and 4 ounces of meat in my mind, obviously labor intensive, good quality product, but people, their expectations of that might be a $14 sandwich.
Yeah, I was
not
gonna say 13,
$14
$14.
sandwich.
All right. So you thought it was a little short. You might have been right about that.
I know
In
it's
that
supposed to
regard, I didn't
be
realize it was $17 that sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you didn't look at the menu. You just showed up at the
No,
end.
I
And said, bring it
I
on.
looked at the prices because I was curious, and I mean, this is another thing. It gets into a whole nother discussion about, what price breakfast should be. And we've been to a bunch of places that serve great, brilliant breakfasts, and I don't know that people. I don't know. I mean, just food alone. If you're not talking about bottomless mimosas, what do you think is like a top number? Two people eating breakfast. I'm not talking about your expensive $100 thing at the Hard Rock there, but if you're paying what, 50 bucks for two people eating breakfast, that seems a little high, no?
That's
So I do look at the prices just to see, what kind of ticket you're going to be facing there at the end of it, and it seemed reasonable enough to me. But 17 on that one, I would say, yeah, maybe they were a slice short of a home run on that one.
Yeah, no, and look, they took the note. Both George, the owner,
Seemed like a great guy, that guy,
and
didn't he?
Daryl.
Very
Yeah,
intelligent
he's a Brooklyn
restaurateur.
guy. I mean, we were
Yeah.
talking pizza because he grew up in Bay Ridge, and he used to go to the same little hole in the wall slice joint that I used to get the best Sicilian square. It's called Nino's on, I think, 3rd Avenue there. And then he's partial to L&B Spumoni Gardens, but he's an Italian guy, and I was talking all kinds of Italian food in Brooklyn
Oh,
because
really? I
that's
thought he was
where I grew up.
Jewish. I really did for some reason.
He, I got that
in New York.
impression. No, but his last name, I think, is Abondante or something,
Yep,
and
yep.
And he's not Jewish. Yeah.
not Jewish.
Well, you're in
But
Mayo. I wouldn't have believed that you were a Jew, but you are, man.
Laskoski,
DeForest, nobody assumes I'm Jewish. Even guys were at my bar mitzvah, and they swore I wasn't Jewish. And I was like, you think I would have gone through all this just to pick up 600 from Uncle Harry? Forget about that. No
do
way.
you do you have to do your Haftorah to prove it?
I had to do it, yeah. And I will never forget the bait and switch. That was one of the most horrifying moments of my life, other than the 3 times I said I do. When I went from reading, it wasn't phonetically spelled. I mean, we read it in Hebrew, but we had, kind of a nice large print when practicing the Haftorah leading up to my bar mitzvah, and then they break out the actual scrolls. When you're in shul there, and I couldn't see squat. I mean, it was harder than reading the racing form at 71. It really was, without glasses.
Hey, speaking of racing forums, boy, I'm excited about starting our
Yes,
Fridays. The Friday.
Now, did you work that out with your
Lunchbox.
brother, though, about the free forms? What's going to happen with that?
That's all
Do we
just
get
relax.
2? Do I have to poach yours? How does this work?
Relax. You're gonna get your racing form. You'll get
That's all you
all
get,
your degenerate needs satisfied.
Guess what, Mike? They're going in the gate right now for the first at Gulfstream, which means
Oh.
we will be betting while on the air tomorrow.
24
I know,
hours
it's
from
crazy.
now.
Yeah.
And again, for everybody in the audience, this is exciting during the prime winter racing season at Gulfstream, starting tomorrow, every Friday through the Florida Derby, which I believe is that first Saturday in April. We're going to be out doing live remote shows at Gulfstream Park. We're going to be blending food and fun and horses. I know tomorrow we're going to get set up, and I think they're going to be bringing down some nice platters of food
Oh, yeah?
that
Oh, good.
to show people that we're going to be starting this contest, giving away a pair of freebie passes to go to 10 Palms Buffet on any given
And
Sunday. That
this is
the
not
winner
work for us. Like we're not included.
Are we ineligible?
we don't get into
Lubie
no.
tried to win a cruise when we were
love
doing a giveaway before, and an all-you-can-eat lobster contest at the Ocean Manor Hotel at the Bamboo Beach Tiki Bar. And
Employees.
he wouldn't let the listener win. He would not let her win.
I almost died.
Employees and subcontractors of Lunchbox LLC are not eligible to win prizes,
Well,
but
what about the
everybody
people
else.
connected with that collection agency that's chasing us? Are they eligible? Why don't we just send them the certificate? That's
10
50 off
pounds
the tab
straight.
right there.
They put on a nice spread. 10 pounds. Like,
No, 10 Palms, they have the omelet station, I think. They have
the whole
the
thing.
shrimp and then the prime rib and the whole shebang there at Gulfstream Park. And it's beautiful because it's right overlooking the track. So, you could come and even if you're not a horse player, just go have a nice brunch and have I don't know if the drinks are included in that spread or not. You might have to fork over a little bit for a mimosa. But it'll be a $250 voucher passes
Wow.
for the Sunday buffet spread at 10 Palms. And we're going to be getting into all the details of the contest. I'll post it onto the various website platforms, including Let's Eat South Florida, where we're simulcast every day. And you can find us from 12 to 1 on this Let's Eat South Florida and also the new Mike Mayo's Lunchbox Facebook page, along with South
There's a
Florida
second
Live.
page now? Wow.
I've got all kinds of pages because it's you can never be.
You
This
never
is
know
what
where
I've
you're gonna
learned about.
connect. Exactly. Yes.
This is what I've learned about social media. You cannot be into it's not like one little silo that you want people to find. You want to be tentacles everywhere. So
Yes.
as many ways as possible, because we all get we get the credits for the link clicks, and we also have the YouTube channel. We want people to go to the YouTube channel. Problem is when you simulcast on Facebook doesn't like when you go off Facebook, so that's why it's a little bit tricky to get that. But never mind the whole machinations of social media. Let's
You
talk
call
some
that
food.
Zuckerberg and give him a piece of your mind, Michael.
I've
You're
learned
very
all these
convincing when you're
things.
mad. I've seen that, and and
Hey,
once you get in, once that fuse is lit, you're not going to let go till you win. So I think we can resolve that issue there with Facebook and YouTube because
yeah,
we make more money if the people watch us on YouTube. That's just a fact.
well, but
Yeah.
we want to make money any way we
We're happy
can.
no
So
matter
that's it. It's we're gonna have to we're gonna have discussions with various.
Help us
Uh,
out is what we're saying.
yeah,
Sign
if
up on the YouTube channel.
YouTube is SoFla Live and South
South
Florida
Florida
Live.
Live. Yes.
Just do a Google search on the
Fine.
Mike Mayo's Lunchbox South Florida Live YouTube.
Yep.
You'll get that. You could find
People
it.
are they had
Anyway,
to love yesterday's show. Did it set a record? Because you were eating again, as if as the cliche goes, as if you were going to the chair, and then that was great. That remnants plate that you had left, what was incredible because it really did. It looked like a child had sat down in your
It
place.
was weird. Do you not eat crust? Like
I eat crust.
Do you not eat the crust? Do you cut the crust off a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Shrimp. You
First
ate
of
like a quarter of the biscuit. It was really weird, like especially from you.
I was pecking and away at things. I felt very odd because we had this, our first guest, the beautiful Yardlene, who was the co-owner, and I'm sitting there and stuffing my face, and food is flying out, and I
Yeah.
don't want to so I just had to restrain myself, and I stopped eating, and so that's why there were all.
I
those
wouldn't
little-
call what we saw yesterday restraint.
If that's restraint, that's scary.
That's restraint. My
I
God.
felt very well. It's not like I plowed down the whole thing in 3 bites like I usually
true.
do.
That's
I
It's
did it-
Elmer Dills meets Conan the Barbarian. That's how we characterize it this morning.
It
A
was
fine, outstanding, intelligent food critic all of a sudden is eating like he just went to Turkey Leg Joe's, that food truck from many years ago that used to be outside the stadium. And people come marching in with a giant drumstick. That's kind of the look that we get from you when
Well,
you're on
you
these
know,
remotes. And the
it's-
people love it. They love it.
And I was pleased to see that. I guess there were a couple of people who saw that we were going to be up there for the remote, and they actually came out. And
Oh, yeah?
didn't- I
Oh,
guess they were
nice.
too bashful to approach me. I don't think I'm that
Hot babes, as
intimidating.
usual. The usual hot
No,
babes.
but Anna, who is Daryl's wife, was saying, "Oh, there's a couple people here saying, oh, is Mike Mayo coming? We're here for the show." And and then so people came out.
They
which
had
is
to be
always-
largely disappointed when they actually saw what we were doing out there, feeding our faces and having a good time.
And that was a nice big long table.
That's
I
great.
felt
Oh
like
man,
Putin and Macron there, that long table, but it was all good. So tomorrow, Gulfstream Park will be there 12 to 1.
where are we going to
And-
be located, by the way?
Well, I'm going to
Where's
do a
it gonna
little.
be? I was just gonna ask that.
We're going to be doing. I'm doing a little walkthrough after the show. I'm meeting up. With
Oh,
Dave
today you're going to
Joseph,
decide that. Okay.
and we're going going to figure it out. I don't know if it's going to be somewhere in the breezeway there, somewhere near. We'll have a paddock in the background, I think. So that's
That little restaurant by the Panic now, is that
yeah.
open up during the season?
No, that's the part. That's where he was going to put us because
Yeah.
he said that restaurant is not opening until later in the month. I think like the 27th.
Okay, and that's a great spot. That's a perfect location.
I think we're going to be like tucked in that little corner there.
Push for
horses
that.
behind us. Yeah,
Yeah.
and as long as there's power and we have our own
There's
Wi-Fi,
power. There is.
so we'll be all set. And now, but for the audience here at hand, the main thing is I want everybody to get involved with this contest. And what we're going to be doing is combining a little bit of food, restaurant, South Florida trivia knowledge, along with having a little fun with the races for Saturday's feature race, which it's kind of a split thing for 2-year-olds. I think one of them is I forget what they're called, but it's like 2-year-old baby races. There's a Phillies version has the I think
It
it's
used
the
to be in
Pulpit.
the Florida Stallion Stakes. Is that
No, this is the
series
Pulpit
this is something else?
Stakes. The Pulpit is for the 2-year-old colts, and it only has like a field of 8. And then later in the day is the Philly version of the same stakes race, which I got to look up now. I'll have all the details tomorrow, but I think there's 11 in that one. So what we're going to do is tomorrow during the show, Defo is going to ask a series of questions that are going to be progressively easier, and there will be a correct answer. If you know the correct answer to the question, every week we'll have a different question, then what you're going to do is send that answer along with a pick on the feature race of the Saturday card.
Oh, you have to get both? Oh, my God.
And if you don't have to know anything, you just have to pick a number between 1 and a 12. But if you do pay attention to the horses, you can actually study your racing form or just at least look at the program numbers. And we'll go over the numbers and the names tomorrow of that. I think it's the Cupid. I don't even know, but it's the feature race on Saturday. I think it's the 7th race. And once you have your winning, I guess once you give a guess of what the answer to the question is, along with your winning pick for Saturday's race, you email it in to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com. It's the same handle as my Instagram account, but MikeMayoEats@gmail.com. And we'll be flashing this all day tomorrow. And what you'll do is you'll send in an email with a header that says Lunchbox. And then if there's more than one winner of getting both the correct answer and the correct winning number in the feature race Saturday, on Monday's show, we'll announce the winner or break a tie by pulling, like they do at the racetrack it's called a shake.
The pills? Yeah.
The shake, where we actually draw kind of pills out of a hat to break the tie of who is the ultimate winner for the 2 brunch passes.
How many lawyers do we have working on protecting our interests? We're not going to own the show anymore.
Are we giving away 2 $50
yeah, every week, every Monday, basically.
All right, so you have to answer the question about the local restaurant
I
team.
Put a thing together
And pick a winner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Answer the question.
They have to get the answer, and then
submit a pick. So basically, by noon Saturday is the cutoff time to send in an email to Mike Mayo Eats with 2 things: 1, the answer to our trivia question, and 2, a number that corresponds to the saddle cloth of the horse in the feature race on Saturday, and the winning number along with the winning answer. You will be eligible to be in the drawing for
Tough parlay.
the 2. Well, we wanted to combine food and horses.
No, I like it, and that's a good tiebreaker there. I mean, even if it's a grab bag for the people that don't have any insight into the race, they might be better off than we are. Having horse racing knowledge and handicap in a race,
Now,
but essentially pick a number and you can break the time.
Pick a number, and if there's more than one winner on a Monday, then that's exciting reason to tune into the Lunchbox on Monday. And then in terms of, we'll get we'll have the winning person's email address. We'll notify them by email, and they could come pick up their winning vouchers. We'll work that out, the particulars, but hopefully by, just going to 10 Palms, and they'll have your name there, and you could just, redeem your prize. Don't forget to tip your servers like we did during our.
I don't know if we can leave the name though, because if we announce the name on the air, there'll be like 70 guys that show up and say that they're, Joe Blow or whoever it was.
We're going to have to get a secret passcode.
I think they should need some kind of confirmation from us.
Yeah. We will work out all these details.
Believe me, I've been involved in contests of all kinds of varieties in my radio.
We'll have disclaimers and waivers and indemnifying clauses, and
there'll be people suing us. That could happen.
everybody will be happy, and if they're not, then we'll have obviously all kinds of exclusion clauses, and don't sue us.
Yeah.
But and again, if anything untoward happens, that's the responsibility. Well, whatever.
Yeah. We're going to
It-
need our own personal prenuptial between the three of us here. Pointing all fingers at you, Mike Mayo, for arranging this contest.
don't sue me because it's like getting blood from a stone. There ain't nothing
Yeah.
left.
Well, I mean, and we would have said to go to the guy who was most likely to have nothing, which would have been Lubie in this case. But that's far from the fact at this point, with his travels around the world and his new, very expensive home out there in Coral Springs.
Going into the home.
4 bedrooms with a pool, while I'm here shut in a small little converted garage.
Speaking of travels around the world, I guess Lubie dropped a bombshell on me. You're flying the coop early next week.
You know what? I thought this was like in January, but turns out it's coming up this Sunday. Had a prearranged trip to celebrate a birthday. One of the Mustangs' good friends going to the Bahamas, and like I said yesterday on the show, I mean, you have to wonder at what point do you start to consider that the woman in your life, your degenerate life, has a secret bank account, because no one gets comped over at Atlantis. I mean,
you're going to Atlantis? Wow.
I know high rollers that don't get comped there, and we not only got comped a room there, but in a special section, like the Cove or something, which is supposed to be high end. Not even Oprah gets a room there, and sure enough, that's where we're going. So I'll be out next week for a couple of days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and that's it.
Good. All right. Well, we'll man the.
And then that's it, man. Then I'm settling down for life. I mean, it's nose to the grindstone for a while.
That's what you say. You'll end up going off to like New Orleans and like 2 days.
Well, I mean, if somebody offers me free airfare and hotels to any casino destination, I'm going. Why would you turn that down at this stage of life? There isn't enough time left for me to turn these trips down. There just isn't.
No, you definitely should not.
Yeah.
So enjoy your trip. And we got some things going on. I think next Wednesday we're trying to sort out. We're going to be doing a remote show without you, but hopefully with Neki Mohan and doing a little.
People will tune in to see Mohan. Farm.
She's a star. Yeah. And she obviously has a big following from her days at Channel 10 when she was the weekend anchor with Todd Toggin, rest in peace. And she has got that star charisma. And next Wednesday, I think, in conjunction with the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival, we're hoping to pay a visit to one of the restaurants that's going to be taking part in their intimate dinner series. We don't have the final details yet. It might be the Funky Buddha Brewery in Wilton Manors. I'm sorry, not Wilton Manors, in Oakland Park. Or
that's a good spot.
Or it might be it might be Paula De Silva, one of my favorite local chefs, and she's now at the Burlock Coast / the Ritz-Carlton Fort Lauderdale Beach. She actually oversees the food and beverage operations for the whole resort, but she is hosting an intimate dinner with some of her former co-workers, including, I think, our friends Dave and Brad from Even Keel.
Oh, yeah, wow.
They're taking part in that dinner because they're longtime friends and former colleagues with Paula De Silva. So one of those two next Wednesday, hopefully. And then also next week on Thursday, when you're back, we're going to be doing a video remote with Ed Randolph, the reigning barbecue battle defending champion.
Is he going to cook anything? Because that stuff he made there last year, that one was great.
Yeah, he made that really.
It was so popular.
Brisket.
I mean, he had the longest line of anybody, and there were many fine people and many, very qualified entrants.
Had that perfect, spongy brisket that had that,
and it was a weird concept too. Yeah, it was a little bit off, center. Yeah, it was
perfect blend of the kind of fatty, juicy, along with the actual, lean.
You went back for seconds. I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Ed Randolph, he's based up in not New York City, a little bit upstate, I think near Poughkeepsie of all places. But Ed is going to join us by video link to talk about defending his belt in the barbecue battle. And again, I urge everybody right now, go on to Visit Lauderdale, the VLFoodWine.com. It's Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. It's vlfoodwine.com, and you could check out the full array of events and things that are going to be taking part. It's coming up right after the holidays. I can't believe how quickly this is unfurling, but basically that week of January 11th through that Sunday, the 16th, which is family day, free family day, but earlier in the week, those intimate dinners, and then the big three, which is the bar fight competition, cocktail mixologists duking it out January 11th. That's Wednesday night. Then the poolside barbecue battle. That's at the Hyatt Centric Hotel in downtown Fort Lauderdale. And then the big old grand tasting, lots of sips and bites, Saturday, January 14th, starting at noon at that Los Olas Oceanside Park, right at the corner of A1A and Los Olas Boulevard. Those 3 events, if you go online, get your tickets, and put in the promo code Lunchbox, you will get an extra 15% off the already low price. And it makes a great stocking stuffer for the foodie in your life. So go to vlfoodwine.com, get your tickets now. It's going to be a great time.
I have to give a thumbs up too. I know you're involved, and I don't know when we're going to decide this or start the process of weeding out the good and the bad here on your jarred spaghetti sauce search. But I have to say, this jar that I picked up arbitrarily, having no knowledge of the brand or what quality level it would be, this Mids, which was like $5.50 a jar,
Yeah.
is excellent. And now last night I came home and I had done a late walk of life, and I hadn't eaten much since like the lunchbox, which I was kind of sparing on the food consumption there, but because Lubie, whatever he took home, I mean, was what I didn't eat, and so I take a box of gluten-free spaghetti. It was the only pasta I had in the closet, and it was taped together. So that led me to believe that it had been in the closet in the pantry there for quite some time, because this was a tape I don't even think they manufacture anymore. And so gluten-free, which I'm not a big fan of, and I boil this up, and I put
making a face.
This mid sauce on there, mid sauce, and I have to say, not only did I think it was great, the Mustang thought it was outstanding. And,
first of all,
so I have to give them a thumbs up for the price.
Okay, the sauce can make or break the pasta.
The pasta was irrelevant. I knew it was going to be.
I can deal with whole wheat pasta, but once you start getting gluten-free pasta is like dairy-free ice cream. It's like, what's the point?
Like eating paste.
Just get get a piece of eggplant and.
But a good jarred spaghetti sauce, you should be able to use almost anything to soak it up with or whatever, or to put it.
Shoelaces.
And
that's good.
and it'll make it better. And it really did. I mean, I didn't even notice that this was like gluten-free pasta by the time I thought the sauce was really, really good. I
believe I have a jar. Like right now, my collection of sauces is numbering 16. I think we're going to get up to 25.
Okay.
Hey, we'll talk more about the saucy stuff after.
But I just wanted to throw that in because, you would think, okay, it's kind of mid-range and it's not going to. These other sauces that are like twice the price, like you're talking about, must be brilliant. I mean, it must really be good.
Is that why they call it mids? Because it's kind of mid-range?
I'm not sure. I never heard of it. You said that you had heard of the brand.
No. Sometimes they do BOGOs on that, mids at
I would
at
recommend
Publix.
taking two. Grab a couple of jars.
And this week's BOGO at Publix in the spaghetti sauce department is the Flores, which I thought was local at one point.
Tom Flores? No,
not Flores. Flora, like Flora.
Oh, Flores. Yeah.
Flores is, excuse my
sounds
Brooklyn
like somebody who would own an Italian bakery, like Doris Market. Yeah.
But they were BOGO, so I picked up 2 jars of theirs. But I've got all kinds. We're going to. I'm not eating it yet. Because once I open these, they have to go in the fridge and then they spoil. And then
that's going to look funny if there's any investigation concerning like people coming to your house and looking for top secret documents or anything. Because if they look in the fridge and they see these 25 jars of spaghetti sauce, they're going to wonder what the hell is up there.
No, they're in the pantry because until you open them, you don't need to refriggerate them. And I don't want to open them now until
it could around suspicions.
This cost me like $100 now. It's crazy, and a couple of freebies too. But all right, we'll talk more about the whole saucy affair that's going to be upcoming at the end of the year. And we'll also talk about, I put up on the Let's Eat group, I asked people to ask Mayo anything. So there's a couple of questions I want to get to from the audience.
Oh, yeah. All right, great.
From food-related questions. And I also put up a piece of meat that I had last night that
didn't look like the Council Oak.
It was not the Council Oak, and it was not Tropical Acres, our friends at Tropical Acres. Speaking of Council Oak, we got pushed back the other night. Everybody keeps having these complicated schedules. I realize now why they have me involved, because not for my poker prowess. All these guys have had 5-figure scores and was supposed to go celebrate Tuesday night. Now it's supposed to go celebrate tonight. Now there's talk that 2 of them can't make it. They keep me around because they need me to make the reservations and keep changing the reservations because I put my name on it. And so whatever you
immediately you get priority seating, of course.
And they keep me around to pick the wine because I'm pretty good with that too. But all right, we'll be back after these words on the Lunchbox. You like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style. A pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754 779 7788. 754 779 7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. And there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent. Are we back? I can't even tell anymore. We are back. It's Mike Mayo on the Lunchbox with Jeff Defo DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz, and we're here on a Thursday. The holidays are approaching. We've got the first night of Hanukkah is coming up a week from Sunday night, and the Festival of Lights is going to be running right into Christmas. One of those rare years where I think because it's a Jewish leap year, there's an extra month. So Hanukkah is colliding with the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So at the Mayo household, where we celebrate everything, there's going to be all kinds of gifts and food and festivities going on. How about you guys? Well, first of all, we got the boat parade coming up this.
Yeah, no, are you coming to the party? Big Rich Party. It's an annual affair.
Now, this is at your complex?
No. We had a party here last year, but our good friend of ours has had a party going for years and years, and we decided to just go ahead and pay homage to the fact that he had a legendary party working and go there. And it's a great spot, and you're invited. And if you want to invite the ex or whoever you want to have accompany you, Joe Casal, feel free to. It's a good spot to watch the boat parade, and there'll be some good food there too.
Give me an address and a time, and I'll show up with a bottle of wine. And
good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're in. I'm glad you're coming.
And
Lubie, are you in Saturday?
I'm doing my best. We have to get our tree this weekend because the move-in is still.
He sounds so enthusiastic. He sounds like the ultimate married man. It's like, I gotta do this.
Well, I'm the one that she didn't think we'd get a tree this year, and I wasn't gonna have her. Not it's her favorite thing is doing the tree. So we have to get the tree and then.
They have skyrocketed in price, by the way, too. Much like the people complain about food.
Good
So
luck with
that's what I'm a
that.
little stressed out
Well,
about.
if
So
you
we'll see.
weren't busy jet setting and eating poke and spam in Hawaii, maybe you could
Why
have
would
got it
the
done last
price of
week.
artificial trees also skyrocket, though? That's an interesting aspect of the Christmas
Because
season.
plastic is
Yeah.
made from petroleum products, and petroleum products have spiked this year.
Oh
Everything.
my God, you had an answer for that? That's
Actually had
excellent.
an
I
answer
do.
for
I
I'm
it.
get
thinking
it.
it's just a blatant ripoff. Like
I get it.
everybody knows that the regular trees have gone like double in price, and so they even raised the juice on the artificial trees, which
I
I was
could
never a
feel it.
big fan of, but I do have one.
All right. Yeah, no, that's what Michelle has now because she
Yeah.
just stores it, and it's one of those really good looking ones that totally looks real.
Yes.
And the problem with the real ones, as much as we used to love them, besides schlepping them and having to tie them to the roof of the car and all that stuff, is that by the end of the holiday 3-4 week period, all those dry needles would just start stinking, and I had strong allergies. I'm one of those people that's very sensitive to
You do have a lot of
fragrances.
problems. I
I
mean,
do
people
have
are aware of
issues.
that after watching the show for a year, though. That's for sure.
Hey, and that brings me to the
Yeah.
ask me anything part.
So what's the story
Because
on these questions? I don't see the questions up here. Do you have your own separate feed?
I have my feet. Well, if you go onto the Let's Eat group, and then
Oh, okay.
I posted several things, new postings in the last hour, and we're going to start with John McCrory asks, "What do you think of servers who ask a table full of guests, 'How are we doing today?'" Defo, do you have any particular
I don't have a
question?
problem with that.
I
I
said
kind of like
that.
a guy to break the ice and not make it so
What is
formal.
that?
So if that's his greeting, yeah, how's everybody today? It would be fine with me. And you're hoping that everybody in unison says we're great.
And I ask you that question every day of the show, and you always
Yeah,
say
yeah. No,
couldn't
I
be
feel
better.
good about life. I mean, I really do. I can't complain about anything.
You know what? It's just a pleasantry. I think what happened is in the old days when you go to the really snooty French restaurants, there was supposed to be this formality,
Yeah.
and they weren't supposed to really kind of banter with
Don't aggress the
you at
guests. Yeah,
all.
that's
And
wrong. I think.
I carried that over in my initial days. I totally changed my thinking, but I used to get upset when the servers would come over and say, "Hey, my name is John, and I'll be serving tonight." It's like, well, I really don't really care what your name is. I'm not going to remember it 2 hours now. But I figured, that comes off a
But
little
it is
commercially.
good though. See, I like that. I think it's good. So you can have so you're not like if you do need something and you happen to see the server from your table
Yeah.
taking time to pay attention to another table and they're walking through the room, you don't have to go, hey you.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's John.
Garcon.
You can get the person's attention.
No,
I think it's good.
I,
I don't want a name
like I
tag,
said,
but I don't mind it.
some of these chain tags because it makes it easier for people to remember if to see it. But no, I like I said, I've changed my thinking 180 on this default. Now it does not upset me at all. I think it's
Yeah.
proper. I think it humanizes the server and makes easier, like you say, that if you need something, you say, "Hey, John," as opposed to
Or you
being,
feel like they've opened up the lines of communication, and so now you feel a little bit more free to ask questions that you might otherwise have suppressed. Because I mean, I think it's a good way to get started. Break the ice a
yeah,
little.
I mean, some people, like can be a wise guy if they say, "Hi, my name is John. I'll be serving you tonight," and I go, "My
That
name is
friend of
Michael. I'll be
Dickstein would have been
eating."
an example. Yeah,
Oh well,
who
him,
he would have
forget
said,
about
"How
it.
you doing?" And he would have said, "I'm hungry. What do I look
I'm
like?"
hungry.
You know,
I don't need.
yeah,
I don't need dispense with the pleasantries. Forget about
yeah.
it. No, I
Enough of the
said my name is
formalities.
Michael, and I'll be eating way more than you expect tonight. That's usually my
Oh,
comeback.
nice.
But
All right. Well,
and
when you say your name, they immediately start trembling in fear because
I
obviously the
don't say
service would
my
come under
last name.
consideration for critique.
Yeah. Oh well.
But your
Let's see.
picture's
But
up
all
on the
right.
wall there in these
Yeah, well,
restaurants. I
that's the
mean,
thing.
Some
Most
of them.
places know it.
it's like going into the
Uh,
post office as a criminal. I mean, there's your picture in front of a lot of these restaurants,
There.
including like the
that
Capitol Grill. I mean,
they
it
used to
goes
have a
full range.
they used to have a bounty on me at some of these high end restaurants in
I
all over
understand
South
why now.
Florida.
I mean, now
No,
that I've gotten to
bounty
know you.
meaning that they basically told the waits at the front of the house staff, if you see this guy, let us know and you get $200. And then of course I
Oh
get
yeah,
all the best.
Great.
Then I
That's
get
great.
then
that's
they fall over
they do it.
backwards
Wouldn't
to
do
give
that at
me.
Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill. He got in trouble for that. No, that was Sean Payton if he had a restaurant. The bounty on the players.
Speaking of that, do we have a date? I'm trying to get my calendar.
We're coming
open.
up with one. Yeah.
I'm in communication now with them. I've taken over, and hopefully we can figure something out.
Can he do it during the playoff run? I mean,
That
it's
maybe
like, all right.
January. That'd be the hope. Is
We're looking at a Super Bowl party down there at this
January-ish.
point. Yeah.
Okay.
Try to mid
Well, who
December.
has the Super Bowl this year? Is it NBC? No, NBC. I don't even know who.
I don't know company.
Maybe it's
I'm sure.
Fox.
All the
All right.
other networks will have a 4-hour pregame show anyway. What are you going to put on? Old episodes of Matlock against the Super Bowl? How do you counter program the Super Bowl? You can't.
I
So they'll probably have their pregame shows. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I doubt that Jimmy
Well, I'm
would be
looking forward to
inclined to
getting
fly out
down
there for that.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am looking forward to trying that the Italian fisherman pizza
Italian
that you speak
fisherman is
so
great.
highly of.
You're going to
That
like that.
sounds good. All right, another Ask Me Anything. This one comes from Melissa V. She says, "How do you take your coffee?" Defo, do you drink coffee? Are you a coffee drinker?
I do. I was a heavy coffee drinker for much of my life here because of the morning show aspect. And when you're getting up at 4 in the morning, I used to slug down. At one time, when I was on the first team with Joe Rose and Steve Goldie Goldstein, Joe was not a coffee drinker, and I used to bring in a giant Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and I let them throw the sugars in there at first. And then I realized I would die within 3
Yeah,
years if I continued to
they
drink like that.
loops. Yeah, if
So
you
I'm
ask,
like a 2 sugar guy in a large Dunkin' Donuts coffee and no sugar, especially since their cream actually has sugar in it. If
some of the
you
flavored
try
creams,
to,
yes.
yeah. So and I do buy the Dunkin' Donuts cream, and I buy Dunkin' Donuts in the little pod thing, and I do have a cup of coffee every morning that I'm working. It used to be much more. I don't drink coffee any other time during the day, but I'm a coffee, believe it or not, with cream, and I like to throw some honey in there. This was an old habit I picked up at a health food restaurant, one of the original places when nobody thought about health food, and it was a foreign concept at a restaurant on the Sunset Strip called The Source I worked at, and they had Kona coffee from Hawaii. Lubie can appreciate that.
Yeah, great, really good.
And no sugar. I mean, people they had the brown raw sugar, which I don't really trust as being anything especially better for you than regular processed sugar. I'm not sure where that stands, but they sweetened the coffee with honey, which I thought was ridiculous, and then I came to really like it. So if I do have honey available, I'll throw some
It's
of
a
that in my
little
coffee.
offbeat, but I like it.
It's really good. It's a good combo.
Lubie, are you a coffee drinker?
Since doing mornings, yes, every day. I don't
Nice.
drink a lot. I drink like a cup. I like it light and sweet. I'm not gonna lie because I wasn't a natural coffee drinker, so I like it more like a dessert where I like it sweet and I do need my caffeine every morning.
So I used to be like that, and then when my blood sugar numbers started rising, and the doctors read me the Riot Act, I said I got to be more judicious in my sugar intake. I'd rather kind of save it for my little bit of ice cream or maybe a dessert that I'm sampling. So I now take my coffee. I like it like my bituminous coal, black and a little bitter. So
Well, and that kind of is an inner portrayal of where you've been the last couple of years from a personal standpoint.
no, and I think I've discussed this
Dark
before.
and bitter,
How
yes,
how
yes.
when you get black coffee, first of all, it's wonderful because you can actually taste the coffee and you can tell good coffee from bad coffee. There are
I think
some
you can still
beautiful.
taste it though with some stuff in there. I really do. You can tell the difference, good
No,
and
it's
bad
it's
coffee.
basically you
I
having.
hate McDonald's coffee. I never like
Yeah,
it.
you can tell McDonald's.
And Dunkin' Donuts, I could drink all
McDonald's
day.
is solid.
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts. I
Or
used to like
Dunkin'
the
nowadays it's
Dunkin'.
called.
Yeah, the Dunkin' Dark is now they call it the
I'm not a
Midnight Dark.
Starbucks fan either, because I think
Starbucks,
it's
no,
overwhelmingly strong.
it's burnt.
Yeah.
Sometimes they
Yeah, it
burn
has a
those
burnt
beans.
taste.
But what I've learned, and my favorite coffee is this Viennese coffee. It's called Julius Meinl, Menl. It's served in some of the high end restaurants. It is so smooth. It's
Oh yeah.
delicious.
What about
And
Lavazza? I've seen that.
Lavazza is
Lavazza
It's pretty
place
good, I
number
think.
two.
I
I
love
think it's
do
good.
Lavazza.
Yeah.
Could do a blind taste test of coffees one of these years, but Lavazza is excellent also.
Lavazza's great.
But the thing that I learned at the Ethiopian restaurant down here, and that's called Awash Ethiopian. It's right near the stadium, near Hard Rock Stadium on 199th. And they roast their own Ethiopian beans. They do this coffee ceremony like a couple of times a week in the like 5 o'clock. And that is the most delicious coffee because when you get these fresh roasted Ethiopian beans, you don't need to put anything in it. But what they do there, and the little trick that takes away that little edge of bitterness, if there is any, a pinch of salt. So I now put a little pinch of salt in my morning black coffee, and it comes out smooth as silk. Even some of the rougher, the cheaper varieties out there. But at home, you know what? I drink Dunkin'. I get it. They have the promotions this time of year where you get 4 pounds of bags for $19.99. You can't beat
Yeah.
that deal. So
No, I think their coffee is excellent. People might argue that they're Starbucks fans. I don't know. I never really got the whole Starbucks thing. I'll drink it if that's all that's available. Yeah, in general, get me a cup of Dunkin', now Dunkin' coffee, and I'm very happy with that. We used to drink two
Oh,
of the extra large. Joe Rose and I. We got to the point where during the course of a 4-hour show, we were drinking two of those,
Well,
and
Joe Rose.
that got a little wacky. But the worst coffee anywhere in the world is radio station coffee. I don't care
radio
what
station
station
coffee.
you
Sitting on the
work at.
pot for 4
It's
hours.
horrendous. I don't
boring.
know. They have a coffee service. They are obviously making money, and they usually trade this stuff out for advertising considerations. So you would think that they could get the top end. And anytime you had a cup of coffee, first of all, there was always the one schmenk that would put a double bag in there without you noticing it. Right? You were unaware of it, so it was like twice as strong as it usually is. And it really was. I mean, it always tasted like mud. Radio station coffee, the worst coffee you can find anywhere on the planet.
And I can't imagine Joe Rose drinking lots of coffee because his bloodstream is naturally caffeinated. He's one of the most
He was fired up, as
energetic,
he says anyway. Yes.
energized guys I've ever
Yeah.
met. So I don't want to see him after drinking two large, cups of the Dunkin'
Two cups of methamphetamine. Essentially, it was like feeding Joe Rose every morning.
Hey, one good place that I love the coffee there, and it was one of the things when I was critiquing restaurants for the Sun Sentinel, dessert and coffee was to me, not the biggest part of the equation, but certainly an important piece of the puzzle. If a restaurant served like a lukewarm cup of tepid, like insipid, bad tasting coffee, that could knock it down a half star in my
Yeah.
book. I think you really got to have your strong coffee game to be considered a great restaurant. And Tropical Acres, when you get the cup of coffee to finish your meal along with their key lime pie or some of their other house-made desserts, they have really good ones there. They bring you a nice, freshly brewed hot cup of coffee. One of the many reasons, and I've never really talked about the dessert cart there, and that's another way. I mean, you get so much along.
I tried to wheel one out the last time we were there, and Jack was at the door, so I just kind of left it there in the lobby.
It's got all those.
It's
different
that
takes and
attractive.
pies.
It really is. I mean, and I can't ever pick what I want. And you're thinking, do I go with the creme brulee? No, I could get that a lot of places.
They got
Let me
the
try one of these
cheesecakes.
cakes.
They
Yeah.
got the key
I
lime
got other ones.
pie. They have,
different.
one of the few. There's only two that they don't make on the premises, and they have it done by a local baker. And that's one has become one of my favorites. It's that blueberry mascarpone
Yeah, crumb
pie cake,
mascarpone.
and that's also delicious. But yeah, when you wash it down with take a couple of sips of that hot, freshly brewed coffee, it's the perfect way to cap off what is really a truly excellent value meal at Tropical Acres Steakhouse, 2500 Griffin Road in Old Fort Lauderdale, Dania Beach, technically, but it's just west of I-95 and the airport. Go to tropicalacres.com and you can see all the details about the upcoming events. If you got want to hold a little Christmas party, might be a little late in the game, but you could give them a call and see if they could squeeze in a larger party. They've got all the private dining rooms in the back, function rooms. They're going to be open Christmas Day, which is falling on a Sunday this year from 1 to 8 p.m. They still have some availability, so
That's a good thing
go
too.
online,
That is
make
great.
a reservation, and of course, the usual every week offerings there can't be beat. The Monday, Tuesday half price wine night, the happy hour in the bar, 4:30 to 6:30 with half price drinks, including the premium cocktail and all those light bites for $5 and $6, like the coconut shrimp and the sliders. And of course, the early bird special, the first hour in the dining room, 4:30 to 5:30, the loyalty reward card. The reasons to go there are myriad, and once you get there, you'll be treated like family and royalty because the Studio Alley family, they are in the yes business, the hospitality business. They haven't forgotten that. They've been running the place for decades, and it's been around since 1949. Go to Tropical Acres and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
You'll dig this, Mike Mayo, as we get set for the last segment here. But I'm going to the hockey game tonight, and the guy that's
Woohoo!
giving me the tickets,
Bring cash.
he's coming with us. The guy that holds the seats is Brett Tesser, the agent to the Stars, and you know who he's good friends with. There's a possibility I get introduced to one
Doug Sifu? Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Really
Just
good
mention
friend
my
with-
name. Tell him how we do a show together now, and I send my love.
I wouldn't be surprised if he viewed it every day. Honestly, he's probably a big fan
You
of Let's in
can't-
South Florida.
And just remember, you can't spell C without FU. So that's it. So that's it.
I'll remind him of
I
that.
love
Yeah.
you.
Be sure to do that as I sit down in my premium seats there in the third row off the glass.
Exactly.
I'm
right,
sure we'd be able to bet a hatchet now that I'm not one of those muckraking journalists digging up all the dirt about how much money
Maybe
they
he owns a restaurant,
get
though.
from the
See?
public.
Indeed, indeed. All right,
And enjoy your $20 beers and $10 hot dogs.
I'm hoping Brett buys. I really am. Although the common gesture would be he who gave you the tickets, you should immediately buy a round of drinks for him. So I took 3 sticks out of the bank yesterday, so I could cover the first round. And hopefully have something left over for tomorrow at Gulfstream Park when we're out there on remote. All right, coming back with more. I can't believe it. I'm excited. We're going to be at the track tomorrow too. Of the lunchbox in a moment.
If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. And we're back on the Lunchbox. I guess we did all our business. Oh, wait, I got to talk a little bit about Visit Lauderdale and Necky Mohan and Greater Fort Lauderdale welcomes everybody under the sun. That means all you foodies out there, culinary explorers, cocktail connoisseurs, craft beer aficionados. Come one, come all. It is the happening place, happening time of year. Like you said, the boat parade this Saturday, followed by all kinds of other things, including the the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival, which obviously Visit Lauderdale is the title sponsor this year. So they want to welcome everyone under the sun, and from dockside dining with breathtaking views along the ocean and the intracoastal to lively cafes along Las Olas Boulevard to award-winning chefs like Timon Baloo at the Catherine. There is a world-class culinary scene here in Greater Fort Lauderdale. So come stay and play. More than 4,000 area restaurants and a thrilling nightlife scene. All these dozens of breweries and distilleries. And there's the Visit Lauderdale Ale Trail and rooftop bars. So much to do, so much to see. Come, stay, play, enjoy. Everyone's invited. Go check out all the latest events and happenings at visitlauderdale.com. All right, we got a few more minutes, and let's get another question in. I got one from a Scott who wants to know, I'm sorry, it's Kenneth, who's got the best French fries, fast food and sit-down restaurant division? Gentlemen, anything pop into your head?
Did you include them in one? See, I do that with burgers too, and they're like, who's the best burger? I'm like, to put Five Guys with Flame, I feel like they're separate. So
they are separate because Five Guys burgers are junk garbage, and their French fries are the best among any of the.
Wow!
Well, I'm just saying.
Skating indictment. Did you catch that, Louie? Skating.
He came in ready for that one.
That's an opinion. Sometimes I come out with strong opinions.
I like that. That's what you're getting paid for. Strong opinion.
Like fries and burgers, I would separate. I put burger, fast food, burger, sit down, fry. Sit like I love Nathan's.
I love the Nathan's crinkle cut.
That's Nathan's would be number one.
McDonald's
I
still
don't
can't
know.
be beat when you get a fresh batch out of the fryer. Those
Those are good.
shoestring fries are
No
very
doubt.
good.
It was good sit down. Like I don't like yesterday's fries were really good.
Yesterday,
Like
Daryl did a nice
it's
job with
great.
those hand-cut fries.
Wicked cheesesteaks also.
Wicked
Dynamite
cheesesteaks
with
has
the
nice.
fries.
No,
Yeah.
you know, and some of these high-end chefy chefs, they actually do the fresh cut fries where they get a potato and
I
they
like
put it
fresh
through the ones. What's now is happening, a lot of these food distributors, US Foods, Cisco, they do have these high-end products that have the skin on it and it looks like a fresh cut, freshly cut French fry from a potato that had just been, diced. But so a lot of restaurants are using that. It's a good product. So they have some good products. But there's
Are you a
nothing.
steak fries guy? I like steak fries too.
So yeah,
Nice
talking
fries.
about kind of a steak fries, it's kind of like a canoe steak fried at Andy's
yeah.
Live Fire Grill, our friend
All right.
Anthony Bruno's place on South Federal. They have that's a good canoe steak fry type of fry. I love those. And then in terms of the other sit down joints, our friends at Even Keel, when you get their fish and chips and they do a batch of their
that's
fresh
great.
cut
Yeah.
fries,
Yeah.
they're very good, along with Timon Blue at the Catherine. He does that clam chowder fries. And also fresh cut fries. So there's a lot of good fries out there.
Now you're a fan of cheese fries? I find those a little bit over the top. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
think,
even though obviously anything disgusting is great to eat, but cheese fries, I mean, you're really, really challenging the gods of good health.
you know me, I'm a minimalist, and I think once
Yeah.
you start pouring on all the the cheese or the chili and this
Yeah.
and that, it's like it gets too cluttered.
Chili
I think
cheese fries are really, I mean,
the
taken it to an extreme.
simplicity.
Yeah.
I think that there's just a beauty and a simplicity and just a perfectly double fried. Sometimes they blanch them, fry them again, and you get that good crisp of a fresh cut French fry, and just put a little salt on them. Okay, you could swipe it through a little ketchup, or sometimes they have the fancier ketchups now. A curry ketchup is nice with a fresh French fry. But there's a lot of directions you can go, but don't pile it up with all the garbage. It gets to be too much. So
how do you feel about sweet potato fries? Real quick, sweet potato fries.
That reminds
good
me.
ones are really excellent.
The sweet potato fries, when we went to Gilbert's 17th Street Grill, they have the best sweet potato
those
fries.
are good. Yeah.
You remember that one? That was our friend Lenore. Usually when I get a burger there, I get it with the sweet potato fries. All right. Well, I guess we're out of time. I wanted to get to Joanne Rosen, one of our faithful viewers. She was a little bit upset because she was asking about the particulars of the spaghetti sauce tasting, and we're going to be working out
the contest at Gulfstream, which
no,
well,
she wants to know where we're going to be there. We're going to be somewhere around the paddock, hopefully in that kind of by the breezeway there where the restaurant is. You should be able to find us. It'll be three guys with headsets on, and
three ugly guys sitting at the track. I mean, that's not a common scene.
But she was asking about the particulars of the jarred spaghetti sauce tasting. What I envision is a small panel, and we'll have little cups of all the different sauces. She was asking, like, what are you going to do when you open them? And I thought she meant after we open them, I'm eventually going to have to toss them. And I said, I'm going to drink it. But she got upset because she doesn't want me drinking out of the same jar that other people are going to have to taste. I'm not going to drink.
Not that would ever derail you from that kind of practice. I mean, everybody's seen it.
We're gonna be. I'm not slurping from anybody's jar after, before everybody gets to taste.
And I thought, okay, see, because you originally Defo was talking about drinking it, and then you and I talked about dunking.
Yeah, I think it's a combination. For me, I want to, I will be sipping.
I think you have to get some bread from Cafe Seville, and we'll dip it.
What the idea is, Defo, we're going to be at the pizza spot. He has obviously his own sauces, but I think we're going to do it at the pizza spot. I'll talk to Wade about this, but he makes that great garlic bread, that cheesy garlic bread, and I think that would be a good dunking material for the different sauces.
Right.
So it'd be.
Like, are you going to do like when we do these contests where they'll do the fan favorite wing? And so you'll do the best sauce with bread and the best sauce by itself? Like, is that what you were talking about?
I think it just has to be one score, and the multi-use. I'm a purist. I just want to give the highest score to the best, tasting and best texture marinara sauce. We're going strictly marinara, so for easy comparison's sake, and we're going to go high and low. And the only thing missing, a couple of brands missing from my collection now. I got to go find a jar of the Cafe Martorano local product, Steve Martorano.
I like Bertolli.
Bertolli, I have to get. but I have a bunch of the other ones, including mids, including Reals, including now the new contender they started jarring Carbone, and I used it the other day. It's really good. It to me now it's my new number one above
All right.
Reals.
What'd that run
So
you, John?
and well, again, I got it free because they mispriced it at
Okay,
my
well,
local.
it would have
Publix.
been like $10.
11. That was
They're
like
running it on a sale this week, $8.99 for
All right.
a 24-ounce jar. But all right, we're done today. I got to
That's
go
it?
down to
All right.
Gulfstream. Yeah, we're done.
All right, scout
We'll
out a good
talk
location for us.
more. This sauce thing is going to get us through the end of the year because people love jarred. I mean, everybody uses it.
everyone.
Yeah.
Sure is a flooded market. I mean, it's not like you don't have a lot of choices.
No,
So it's good to know what's good and what's not, because obviously you're going to gravitate towards maybe names you're familiar with, but there might be some
There
secret
could be
hidden
some
gems in there.
surprises.
Yeah,
Yeah. You never know what you're going to find in that that $3 to $7 price range, and not have to spend $10 a jar.
$5.50 a jar. I was perfectly satisfied with this mids.
It's all good. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today. We'll be back tomorrow from Gulfstream Park, the first Fridays at Gulfstream Lunchbox. It'll be food, fun, horses, contest giveaways. Tune in tomorrow for all the details, and you'll be able to take part in the contest to your chance to win a pair of buffet vouchers at 10 Palms at Gulfstream Park for a future date on a Sunday. So that's going to do it for today.
A buffet for two is a nice price. There.
Oh,
It
the
really
buffet
is.
is really
It's
good.
$100 value.
Yeah.
But you'll.
I think it's worth more than that. I think it's a great value. The $50 buffet is really a great value there.
Yeah, but again, we still will urge everybody to tip their servers who are
Oh,
bringing
yeah,
drinks. So that's it. All right, that'll do it for today. For Jeff Defo the Forest, Mike Lubie Lubitz, I'm Mike Mayo. Sorry, Andy, I did not stuff my face with a single food item today. Those rare fasting days from Mayo on the lunchbox. I did have my black bitter coffee.
You were under snug restraint today, like some of your horses might be. Hopefully at the Gulfstream Park show tomorrow. That'd be great.
Council Oak Feast tonight, so
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
saving room. All right, that's going to do it for today, guys. Enjoy the rest of the day, and everybody out there, enjoy every sandwich.